guys for the first time to my YouTube channel. My name is Serge Kalala. I'm a photographer based in Johannesburg, South Africa. So today we are going to learn how to move from this to this. I'm actually doing this tutorial because most of my friends ask me to do tutorials because some of them want to learn skin retouching, and basically it was not also easy for me to learn from scratch, so I had to look up some other photographer to try to learn how this works. And I would like to make it more easier for people out there because there's no photographer apart from one photographer that I know on YouTube, who's Oscar Thinge. I don't know if I pronounced the name well. He's from Nigeria, who's going with his tutorials straightforward, but all the photographers are trying to take it left and right. So basically today I'm gonna take a step by step in a way that people can understand and try to master how skin retouching are done in a pretty easy, simple way using a technique called the frequency separation. Before using the frequency separation, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to remove all the blemishing that are around the model, because you can see there's some pimples around the model. Actually, I'm gonna put the link below to the model's profile. You guys can check out some of her work. Right, we are done removing the blemishing and everything. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to duplicate this picture times 3. So you click on your picture and you drag it down 3 times. We are going to put the 2 pictures. You can name this the way you want. I usually say 1 to make it easy, and 2. Let's say 2. Good. I'm going to take the 1 and 2 and bring them into a folder and name it F. That will stand for frequency separation. Then I'll open the folder, open it. You go to the picture number 1. Make sure you turn off picture number 2 so you can see through, you can see everything that you are actually doing on picture number 1. So you need to know that picture number 1, what type of picture are you working on? Is it an 8-bit or a 6-bit? For you to check, you go to image mode, then you can see here if it's click on 8 or if it's click on 16 or 32. So in my case, I use 32-bit. What am I going to do with the 32-bit? It's actually going to give me the tools that I need for me to blur my pictures. So I'm gonna blur this picture using Gaussian blur up to 8 because I'm working on an 8-bit picture and I love more texture, so I'm gonna stick at 8. Number 2, you turn number 2 on, then you go to image, apply image, you come here, you select number 1 because you are actually going to subtract colors, textures from number 1. So number 1 will actually keep the information about colors and number 2 will be only about texture. Okay, so I'm selecting number 1 and I'm at subscribe. Right, okay, cool. This, and yeah, so we have done that. We'll come to number 2 and go to linear light. But remember, before getting to this part, we have this layer, right? This group. This is blur at 8 using Gaussian blur, and this is an apply image, right? So you guys get it. So let's do that again one more time. Okay, we put it down. Let me delete it. Times 3. We're going to name this 1 and this 2. Number 1 and number 2 goes into a group that we are going to call F. Number 1 will be blurred by 8 using Gaussian blur. You can't see because number 2 is still turned on, but if I blur it and I turn number 2, you can see it's blurred. It's a little bit blurry. So I will take number 2, go to apply, I'll select number 1. Make sure you select number 1. Make sure you are in subtract. Make sure your scale is at 2. Offset at 128. It's very important. Then you take number 2, you put him in linear light. Right. If you have done that, congratulations. So we open this group, we click on number 1. So make sure you are on number 1. You zoom in on your picture a little bit. So you are going to take the lasso tool, this one here, this one. Make sure it's this one. So you are going to draw around the skin. Make sure it's only around the skin. So make sure it's only around the skin. This part we are going to blur it again, always using Gaussian blur. Then we are going to shift from 8 gradually and find the right amount of blur we need for this skin. And you can see the skin is already changing a little bit. Okay, in my case 45, it's okay. I'm gonna type in 45. Good. Then I'm gonna come around under the eye. I'm gonna draw the same thing. I'll go in and think 45 is good again. Great.
I miss the family I used to have. I feel like everything's so different now. Sitting by the fire as we'd watch the flames burn out. I miss the days I wasn't afraid. Now I always have my guard up, hands on my face. I learned to cope with the pain. I know that people think I'm trying to get attention, but in reality I'm trying to send a message. I know there's kids out there that are going through the same thing, and if you're one of them, I hope to help your suffering. Just know it will get better, and these feelings do not stay the same. No, they don't stay the same. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life, and I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me.
Gaussian blur. So I think 20, 23 for this. Okay, I think 25 for here is fine. Great. Let's go again down right here. So for you to actually do a duplication of the action, you just draw and you hold Alt Control F every time you want to replicate the action. Alt Control F. You draw around the neck. Also Alt Control F. Alt Control F. I want to make this thing more easy that even a baby can understand. And what I want to do, guys, is that if you don't understand anything, please feel free to leave your question in the comment section so I can be able to read and actually maybe make a new tutorial or another tutorial about your question. So it's simple as that. So trying to remove all the small imperfections. Great. So far we have removed, but you can see that the skin here does not really match. You can see some white and stuff. You can just see that the skin is actually not perfect as it's supposed to be. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to use the technique that most photographers use. So for me, I just like to blur the skin using the lasso tool, but right now I'm going to use the mixing brush. So I'll start brushing around the skin to make it look uniform. So I don't have those imperfection on the skin. So I'm just gonna brush around. So guys, it's simple as that. So guys, that's it. Thank you for watching this tutorial. You can see so far we have moved from this to that, and that's the end of our tutorials. Please subscribe to this channel, to ask you to subscribe, because the more you guys subscribe, the more I can feel motivated to do or to post any new content for you guys. And bye.